What's going on, guys? I'm in my RX8 and I have done the unthinkable, which is taking a Mazda Rx8 on a very long road trip. I want to share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, the awesome, all of the above. I want to share what it's like taking a Mazda Rx8 on a longer road trip. So this road trip I'm taking the Rx8 on, I would say I will probably, by the time I'm home, have gone around 700 to 800 miles. It's the middle of summertime, rotary engines, don't like the heat, and this car, I just want to share just the experience that I've had driving this car. I drove this car up to Idaho, and I'm driving it back. I've driven it all around. I've given some people rides in it, and this car actually is a great cruiser. So let's start with some of the positives. I'll jump into some of the negatives, and I'll jump into, are these cars good enough to take on a road trip? So the positives, this car handles so awesome. Like, this has been a really fun trip for me because I've been able to take corners at some speeds that I've wanted to, that is at the speed limit, to really just how this car handles. This car drives itself, like hands off the wheel. This thing just goes straight. It is a cruiser. It absolutely is a blast to drive. It is fun to wring out the rotary engine. There's still plenty of power to pass people. The car has a really good kind of like top end to it. At the high RPMs, it does great. So cruising, it's very comfortable. I've got my AC at a point, making a few modifications that you guys may have already seen in a previous video by the time you see this, or maybe not. But the AC has been blowing pretty cold the entire time. It has just been phenomenal. These seats are amazing. I've thoroughly enjoyed these seats, and I'm pretty picky with my butt and the seats that it sits in. So it actually is very comfortable. It has been great. It hasn't left me stranded. It hasn't really done anything weird at all. The shifting in this car, it is such a breeze, and with the gearing of this car, you can leave it in 6th gear and you're fine. Like, you got enough power to pass people, and it's plenty. Cruise control works great. I really have no complaints from driving this car. Ultra comfortable. It has been phenomenal. Storage wise, it's so easy, just in and out of the back doors. It's made it so nice. I've gotten some compliments on the car driving it. I've had several people want to race me, which I haven't, because number one, I don't like to lose, and number two, I don't want to go crazy speeds. Number three, this car it's not what this car is meant for. You get it on a track, you get it on a canyon, this car is bred for that, and it will be amazing. But I haven't really had a chance to fully understand the 50-50 weight distribution of this car and its lightweight until I've taken some on-ramps or some corners that literally take you in a circle. This car just hugs the road so well, handles extremely well. In terms of just, using, I have Bluetooth in here. The sound quality in here with the Bose is amazing. I really have no complaints, guys. It has been really good. But there are a couple of things that you should be aware about. They're not things I hate, they're just things that I've noticed. Because this car, and everybody knows this, rotaries are not good on gas mileage. They're not. The best I've ever got in this car is when I ran Lucas Oil fuel injector cleaner, and I got like 19 miles to the gallon, like combined. My last tank, and I was driving it, I got like 15, and a lot of those were freeway miles, so that should give you a good idea. But here I am right now, 128 miles, and I have less than half a tank of gas. But the thing with this car is, because how it's geared, because of the rotary, I'm in 6th gear right now, going 84 miles an hour, and I'm almost at 5,000 RPM, and that's going to affect your fuel economy. But you guys know that. The biggest thing that I would say that you have to prepare for in this trip, and for people who have owned these cars, it, but I literally have a kit in the back of my car at all times, and I make sure I have enough oil in there. Number one, to top off the car if it is burnt too much oil. And when I check it, and I've checked it at every single time I've had to stop and get gas, which has been quite frequent. But I have that. Then I also have some Rotary Racing premix to put in the gas tank. And so I had to make sure doing this trip, because I think I've now, by the time I'll have got home, I'll say I've filled up probably 4 times. Yeah, about 4 times that I've filled up. So at the end of the day, you got to make sure that you're prepared to do it. A couple other things, the road noise in this car, it is a little loud. I had the track version of the Camaro, and that car is a little bit louder on the freeway. But I will say at higher speeds, this car, it is a little bit louder, but it's not terrible. It's fine. The other thing I'll notice with the car, and maybe some of you out there know about this, but I had a passenger in here, and we're some good-sized dudes, and what I noticed is the suspension bottoming out in certain instances, or just hitting not necessarily potholes, but just kind of low spots in the road. Like when I'm in it by myself, I don't hit that or notice that, but maybe it's just I need some upgraded suspension on the car. I don't know, but I noticed for sure like bottoming out. So if you have, I had a couple sets of golf clubs, had some luggage, nothing too crazy, a couple passengers, but I noticed I had to be kind of more cautious going over roads that weren't paved very well, because the car felt like it wanted to bottom out. Now, one thing that I'll say is annoying, and I haven't had to deal with this daily driving the car, but my coolant light is like constantly on, and it's because I need to replace my coolant reservoir. I think I'm going with the Bennett something, but they're like aluminum tanks. These Mazda Rx8s are known to have, well, they have the sensor at the bottom of the coolant reservoir, but over time they become corroded, they go bad. I really don't know why they fail, but I'm someone who doesn't like a lot of colors, like, on my dash. I like it clean. I don't like any lights popping up, but my coolant light is on pretty much almost all the time. My coolant, I've checked it, we're good, we're golden, everything is fine, but having that is just a little bit of a nuisance as I drive it. But yeah, when I'm driving kind of around town, I don't notice it because it'll sometimes come on and then go off, but in the highway driving, kind of stays on for most of the time. Well guys, and those are just really the only few kind of minor things with the car that I've noticed. But overall, this car, there's times where I go, you know what, because I go through cars really quick. If you guys watch the channel, where I'm like, hey, this car's in great condition, and I've had several people comment on this car that they're like, that is extremely clean car for 2004, and I think it is pretty clean for what it is. And so I've gotten a lot of compliments. People don't think this car is as old as it really is, but I go through stages, right, where I'm like, okay, I could sell this car, I could get my money back for it, I could be in an even better spot, but I really enjoy driving this car. Shifting it is amazing. Holy cow, we are like going off the road. Sheesh. But driving and shifting this car, guys, it literally, it's just something about it. Just revving it out. This manual shifter, hands down the best manual shifter combination, clutch, transmission, whatever you want to call it. Like, it is like butter to shift, and it's effortless. I love it, guys. That's my experience. I'm not home yet, so maybe I'll update this video that I get stranded. But I've really liked the Rotary platform. I really have. It has been amazing. It truly has been amazing. I'm actually gonna go over here and get some footage.